Yeah.
We need some protocol around here.
All right.
Ghost Recon.
Etiquette and protocol.
How many other things can we do besides talk? You want to bring the microphones in the bathroom and plunge the toilet?
I literally had to spit out my drink. I had to spit on the ground because I was going to choke if I had it in my mouth any longer.
Pause. That's the intro.
Welcome to the Higher Energy Superpower. This is episode 35 of the Turbo Duo Cast. I am your host, Salvatore Mata, and to my left is my brother from another game show lover. He is the Oral Assassin. He puts the ass in classic gaming, everybody. It's Trenton E. Wright the third, Esquire.
Esquire? Yes.
Because you're so sophisticated that they named you Esquire twice.
Okay.
You're the only non-lawyer to have two Esquires.
Only non-lawyer. I'll take it.
And for that, you're the only lawyer or non-lawyer to have two Esquires.
I'm the greatest.
Mm-hmm. And, as always, returning with us,
To my other left.
Turbo Duo and a half. It's the one, it's the only, Salvatore. I did it again. Salvatore.
When have you said Salvatore?
The last time I said Salvatore, and then I said he's the avatar of Salvatore. It's Salvatore.
Well, that's your own fault for trying to do too much.
I guess. Salvatore Thomas Mata, Salvatore Superstar Soccer Mata in the house.
Can they fit that on the back of a soccer jersey?
I do. I have my
might be
soccer
able
jersey
to.
on though.
And so just if we might delight in our own successes here on the Turbo Duo Cast. Delight in our own successes. Salvatore,
Delight in. Oh.
you had a soccer tournament last month?
Oh no, we told them already.
No, we didn't.
No, we told them. That.
No.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't. Because it didn't happen the last time
You
we
hadn't
did
had
it.
the tournament yet.
The last one we did was when we came back from Mercho GameCon.
Yeah.
No, we did. I remember.
So Salvatore
So anyway.
and his team won their soccer tournament. First place.
Football!
Big trophy. Big aspirations, big
Oh.
future.
It's not that big.
I think it's big.
Metaphorically big, you know.
It's a big trophy. It was the biggest trophy that anybody got there.
Oh, wow.
The tiniest trophies. The tiniest trophies were for like the fourth, fifth, and sixth place teams.
We call those participation trophies.
Right. And sometimes people get participation trophies.
What is it, like best sportsmanship trophy?
No.
So,
They used to give those out for like the worst team.
So
in
every
baseball.
team gets a
Lame.
sportsmanship award, a most improved award,
and I got the most improved.
and most valuable player. So on the team, there are 3 players that get specific awards.
First or nothing.
No, this has nothing to do with first. Every team announces who their most valuable player was, who their most improved player
Understandable.
was. And what I like about the league is that I told you not to eat any more pistachios.
Oh, one.
This is the last one. You just can't control yourself. So, for the place that you make, every place gets a higher or bigger trophy.
Well, of course.
So 6th place, everybody gets a trophy.
No,
But
Nope.
but if you're in 5th place, you get a bigger trophy than 6th place.
that's dumb.
And if you're in 4th place, you get a bigger trophy than 5th place.
Well, that doesn't.
And if you're sitting in this chair, you don't continue to creak it so that it shows up in the microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now my leg's caught.
Just put it down.
I'm sorry. Now my leg's caught.
All right, you ruined it.
Okay.
All right. We're done with trophies now.
We're
All
done
right.
with trophies.
Yay.
Unless we're talking about PlayStation Network. So welcome, everybody. This is sort of our Christmas episode, although we don't have a specific game to talk. We just
It's
have
not Christmas.
we just have pistachios to chew. And
Yeah, the old season's greetings of pistachios. Nothing says holiday cheer
Should've been
like pistachios in your ear.
should have been chestnuts.
Now, Daddy, if you got nuts on your chin.
All right, we'll save that one for the next podcast. So I think we just wanted to come to you guys
chin nuts.
and just kind of give you an update on what's going on. Have a little conversation. You know, maybe we'll get into some holiday conversation about Christmases of old, of past, and just talk about what's going on.
Aren't we gonna talk about Uncle Tred's Christmas?
I don't even know what that means.
Which one?
What do you mean when you say Uncle Trenton's Christmas?
I don't know.
You don't know what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the first rule of podcasting is never bring up a topic that you have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, fine.
You wouldn't make a good witness, I'll tell you that.
So, do you want to try again?
No, I'm good.
You're good? Okay.
I plead the fifth.
Thanks. You know, so we're going to go through the segments here and then maybe have a little discussion, Trenton.
Yeah, you know, we'll wing it.
Yeah, well, that's what, you know, we're just going to make it conversational today, guys. So hopefully you just put us on in the background. You know, if you're using your soldering iron right now, just keep us there in the background. Or if you're, you know, stocking shelves or doing paperwork or whatever it is, we're here to help you guys get through your day.
Or if you're under the covers with a nightlight reading your favorite book.
Right. That's another way to keep us involved in your day. One good news that I don't have to mention anymore.
One good news.
One piece of good news. We have a landing page now, apparently. Right?
Allegedly, we do. Yeah.
With the Turbo Duo.
They just got so tired. They were just like
They felt bad for us. They were just like, okay, it's just been too long.
He's like, it's actually easy for us if we just give you the
We're
link.
just going to give you the landing page. You don't even need to get a certain number of people. We're just going to give it to you. So it's
youtube.com/the Turbo Duo.
It is.
That should be.
But what I was going to say is it's just like it's like a pity achievement.
No, yeah, definitely. We didn't really earn it.
Yeah.
Then should we talk about what?
I guess
what,
that's
what games
that's
and
our
stuff
participation trophy.
That is our
Christmas?
participation
Is that what we should
trophy.
do?
Talk over me, but go ahead.
No. Should we tell them what?
Tell them.
No, what? Like video game type things we want for Christmas.
What we want for Christmas?
Yes.
Sure. We can do that.
I need to get.
No, we don't need to get anything.
No,
actually.
I need to get.
No, we don't.
Yes.
Nope.
Well, what do you want, Sal? Let's go. Let's just go. What do you want? What's your
I need
ask?
to get it because I don't know how to explain.
Don't know how to explain something you don't have
Let me just go.
that
get
you want.
Something you don't have, or something you have, or
That's going to help with something you have.
right.
Okay, let me just get it.
All right, and the podcast comes to us.
Oh boy.
Jing Hall.
I mean, Trent, is there anything you're looking for Christmas?
Those days are kind of gone. There's not really anything I.
Do you do gifts with your family?
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's always like sweaters, though. Everybody hands out sweaters.
No, not sweaters.
It's like cardigans.
Usually, they'll ask. My mom will ask me or my dad.
Yeah. So like a flight.
Hey, it's pretty much now. It's
Mom, what I want is to be as far away from you as possible. Could you please get me a flight
out of here somewhere
to Tucson?
San Antonio. Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm not asking my mom. Hey, mom, can you get me a Nintendo Switch?
Open up.
A Nintendo Switch.
You know.
Yeah. What are you trying to have me do?
What is?
I mean, that was way back.
Because I can't get it.
Oh, sick. Let's all look at this phone.
So what do you ask for? Like, what are the types of things you ask for?
Now it's
with moms and them.
Now it's like tools and stuff that I kind of need. You know, like I asked for like a wrench set that I just didn't.
I'm gonna kick you off this podcast if you keep making noise.
I did.
Salvatore,
But yes.
keep the chair in place. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah. So,
so
you know, just
tools?
kind of, clothes or things along that line, like shoes or something that something around the house maybe.
Sure.
Like I think I got like a knife set before.
Ooh,
Yeah, a Cuisinart. I think it's Cuisinart.
Cuisinart's
knife set.
good. That's
Yeah. Some good knives.
Cuisinart's a good company, man. I
You
just
know,
got
not expensive. You know, like $50 maybe or $50-$60.
I got a new espresso maker on Prime.
Cuisin.
It's on Prime, and it was a Cuisinart.
Nice. Yeah, they make solid stuff.
They've
been around for a minute.
They do a really good job. They're referenced by Rick Moranis in Spaceballs.
So you know it's good.
When they say they must have hyperjets on that thing, and he goes to his corporal and he says, "Well, what do we got on this thing? A Cuisinart? Find them, catch them."
Yeah, they've been making stuff forever. Fruit juicers, blenders,
all of that
bread makers,
happening. Mixers.
There is one. My things.
They're called headphones.
There is one like video game that I want for Christmas. One.
Right.
that you couldn't explain unless you saw it on the phone. Go ahead.
Well, okay.
Maybe it's the specific one of this series. Yeah, go ahead.
Pokemon?
No.
Oh.
I want Mutant League Football for the Sega Genesis.
Yes. I thought it was going to be a Switch game or something. That's fantastic. How do you know about this game?
Mutant League Football.
So
That's a baller move right there.
It is 2022.
That's a baller ask for a 30-year-old game. It's got to be close to 30 years old.
I saw it at
A GameStop?
I saw it at
GameStop.
GameStop.
no, not GameStop. No, I saw it at the show.
Funko-Land?
I saw it at the show. It was in like the case.
Yeah.
In like the glass case.
Protective case?
Yeah, I saw it in the protective case, and it looked very cool. The cover looked cool, and then, well, no, it wasn't in the case. It was in like the.
Just the box that it comes in?
Yeah, it was.
It was in a rack that had a bunch of
Yeah,
games.
it was in a. Yeah, and then I saw it, and I pulled it out, and I looked at the back, and it looked like a really cool like football game.
It is.
So.
It uses the Madden engine.
Yep.
Just like Mutant League Hockey. Mm-hmm. It uses the NHL 93, 94 engine.
That one's a pretty penny, right?
Yeah. It's
But the
weird.
front of it-
It's crazy how that one's way more expensive than Mutant League Football.
Why is that?
I don't know. I don't know if there was less of it made.
It was
or
later. It was a year later.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Yeah, like the Mutant League Football is not crazy. You know, I think it might be like 30, 40, but I think like Mutant League Hockey is way more than
Like
that.
almost 100.
I think so. I know it's way more than the football.
Yeah, the cover
Maybe it
looked.
was. I don't know. I don't know why it is. You know, can't really explain
Yeah.
some games why the value is higher than others.
Well, the cover looked cool.
No, it does.
And
Indeed.
yeah,
There's something about, and Sal, thanks for sparking this off because you made a lot of transgressions in between, which I almost kicked you off for. So, but you brought it back with your ask. But there's something about the Christmas holiday that makes me really nostalgic for video games.
Well, that's because that was like the only time we got them.
But it was also
Like
a time where
3 years
you had like unlimited time to play them because you had that whole
Oh,
week
the Christmas
between
break. Yeah.
Christmas and New Year's, and then you had, if you got like most of the time I would get like 2 games, and so you had, I mean that was like gold because you didn't just have one game, you had like a couple options, and so for some people, I know that's video games is pretty much all I asked for.
Oh well, what else can you? I mean,
Figures,
I guess.
and I never asked for figures.
No,
I wasn't in the figure game.
Yeah, I mean, I was, but I think I ever asked for figures. I remember I would get some. Like I remember like this was like between like 97 or 99, and on QVC they would always have like a wrestling special. Like they would always have WCW stuff, and my mom would get me like the WCW calendar for the next year.
Oh, that's cool.
On QVC, and I think that was about it. And then she had got me some other little, like, the mini wrestling ring with some stuff, but I don't remember asking for that. It was always, like, the video game stuff because, video games were, like, $50, $60. So, like, you'd take a while to save up money for that, whereas, like, figures were, like, $5 or $6. Because you could just go to a store and just get those, like, any time, but... Like a video game was like an investment.
It was an investment because if you bought the wrong thing, you were kind of SOL, especially if it was a Christmas gift, because a lot of times those were bought at least a couple of weeks ahead of time, and so it wasn't like that old policy where you had 7 days to return it. It was kind of like, well, you're already past the 7-day limit by the time you get it. So unless you don't open it,
once it's open, that's it.
Yeah, like if you end up with Mike Ditka football
and you open it,
it's over.
Or see, I had So on Christmas, my grandparents would come down. So that was like another gift. My grandparents would come down with my aunt.
Oh man, grandparent gifts.
Yeah,
especially a lot of times you're getting cash and you're like, oh, I know what I'm putting. That
well, no,
towards.
because usually then they would usually ask like what we wanted for like Christmas or towards the later years they would just kind of ask like what we wanted.
Zybots on Atari Lynx.
I don't know if any kid actually asked for that. But yeah,
I want to meet the kid.
So like, yeah, Christmas was pretty because you get a few games. So like I had my grandparents come down from New Jersey with my aunt. So that's like a gift from her and a gift from them. And then you go to my grandma's in Norwich like the next day. You know, that's another one too. You know,
tickets to a Cavs game.
Monster Jam tickets.
Yeah, those are only $5.
I don't think anymore.
Yeah. So, and one of the things that was always a tradition, and sadly with the advent of whatever the standard issue of commerce is today, which most of it's online, is Black Friday was always a thing that was a big deal. It really kicked off the Christmas season, and as I got into my teens and was working for my parents, I had a little bit more disposable income where I could actually use it to buy things that were on like those early Black Friday sales. Those 4 a.m. Black Friday sales. I can remember my brother was, I don't know if he was literally fighting over it, but there were only like 7 of them, and he got there like 2 hours ahead of time.
TV?
And waited in line. TV was
From Best Buy?
It was a front projection TV. Remember that front projection TV that he had, the silver one?
Wait, who had?
Sebi.
Oh yeah, in the living room we would play Dreamcast on.
We played Dreamcast on it,
Yeah.
and he literally got that on Black Friday for like $400, and that was like an incredible deal. It was like a $1,200 TV, and he got it for $400.
No, they got to use a semi truck to get it in the house. You know.
How do you even put something like, you got to go through the slider? I think in the back.
Yeah, those things are huge.
You're massive.
Probably like take it out of the box like outside, and then like bring it in on like put like a cart underneath it to like roll it. Mm-hmm. those things were. This is like a couch.
Yeah.
It's like moving a couch around.
It was. I mean, when we moved to Columbia, we had a rear projection TV, which was awful. But it was big. It was a bigger screen, so you were able to see more. In terms of the size. Because before that, we just had a console TV, so it was just on the floor. It was a piece of furniture. It was probably
CRT TV.
Yeah, 28 inches or something like that. So I growing up, like in my living room was always we had the rear projection, and then when that started to go, they got this Magnavox 480p monster front projection television that was like 70 something inches, and that was a piece of furniture too. I mean, it was huge,
crisp screen,
but it had a DVI port, so you could do like like HDMI.
DVI.
Yeah, a DVD port.
Not familiar with those.
But so we, Sal's kind of too young to really know what this experience was, but there was an excitement, when you'd go out for that. And so we went out to 2 places. I think one was like Target, just whatever.
Target was a thing back then?
Forgettable. And then you're not listening because you're playing Piggy, which is like a problem, but not really, but you know what I mean. And then the other place we went was GameStop, which is kind of like, there's no Toys R Us anymore, so I can't go there because that was always the annual first stop. But went to GameStop, and of course, the manager from like 15 years ago was there, just kind of at the store because it was Black Friday. And
He wasn't working though. You're saying
he was working, but not really. He was more just like helping out and just kind of being there because it was Black Friday.
Yeah.
And I remember
all hands on deck, baby. No days off.
And so I was talking to him, and we were kind of reminiscing about some of the not old days because he wasn't there for like the 5th generation, but we were just talking about
so he wasn't there for the N-Gage launch.
No, he just missed the N-Gage launch. He said because he said he had just gotten there.
That was like the first thing you asked him.
The first thing he said, he said he was there. He was there. No, he was there with the N-Gage, but he wasn't there when the N-Gage launched because he was there when the PS3 launched.
Right.
I don't know why I had to go farther into that, but so we were just chatting about how, because that store that we went to is the original FuncoLand store, and all of the stuff
in the plaza across from the mall.
Right.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about how, like, the manager John, who's great, that whole team over there is really good. we were talking about how the fixtures and like the boxes, the holes where all the TVs were on that left side.
Yeah, where you could play the games.
They didn't get rid of them. They just boarded them up. So there's literally cavities there for like a CRT.
Like behind the wall or
behind
something?
that wall there on the left.
I don't even remember the last time I went in that store, so I don't.
And we were just kind of reminiscing. He was like, yeah, all the things that are like, I don't know what you call on the wall that, you know, where you can kind of like hook things into.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Like all of that is all from Funkoland. Like,
really?
They haven't changed the store since then. And we were talking about, back here, that's where you traded in your stuff, and they tested out the consoles
in the back
right corner, and I was like, and there were screens all over the store where you could play a game. I said, I remember Star Fox was in that one over there. I'm like, pointing to the back, right when you walk into the right, and it was just that experience. I was like that whole area back where you guys have all the Pokemon packs. That was all NES games, just lined up.
I do remember you
remember that?
In the back on the left is when they had Sega CD games back there, and I remember seeing Snatcher on the wall.
Was it on the wall?
But I didn't know at the time what it was.
I remember they had a GX TV in the store that was on that right side of like the bar.
flip out speaker TV.
Yeah, that would be kind of a cool TV to own. Just because it was gamer centric and it came out in 97.
Yeah, I think it was like a 13-inch monitor. I don't think it was.
No, it wasn't anything big, but it had the speakers that folded out. It's just kind of a novelty item. But But so we were just kind of reminiscing, and this one girl, I was asking about some of the guys that used to work at Babbage's, and there's a girl that still works there that was from those old days, and she remembers the old guys that I was talking about, because when I was 13, these are the guys that I would talk their ear off, because I was that video game kid that would just sit in the store and just ask them every outlandish question about everything I read in EGM. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just like item after item, and they're like, kid, go away,
I remember, what was it, Babbage's or Software Etc.? In the Buckland Mall on the first floor, it was like next to JCPenney. Or I think it was JCPenney.
So the one that was Regency Gaming was was EB Games.
So the other one was Babbage's.
Yeah,
I remember going into Babbage's was really small, and they had I remember because
they were all kind of small.
But the Babbage's one was like, it was like a corner, like it was like a really small store.
That's where I spent most of my time.
In Babbage's? Mm-hmm. Oh wow, yeah, I remember going in there because I think I mentioned it before, like maybe 2 years ago on the podcast, where I was. Like, I had wanted a Jaguar at that point. I was, like, obsessing over getting an Atari Jaguar.
What year is this?
Well, it had to be when it came out, so...
93?
Middle of 94, maybe, or something like that.
Didn't you just get your Genesis?
Yeah, but I remember seeing all the advertisements in the magazines for the Jaguar.
You saw Cybermorph and Sinead O'Connor, and you said...
Well, Alien vs. Predator, mainly. And then somehow I don't know what the internet, early days of the internet, I ended up, like... I remember emailing.
Email?
Yeah, I remember emailing Atari because they were like back then they were sending out catalogs like
in '94,
like black and white printed like just like on like printer paper.
In '94.
Yeah, back then.
You had the internet in '94.
Well, when was that? So maybe it was later then. It had to be later. 90. I mean, we had the internet like right when it came out. We had
94.
dial up. So
94.
94, 95, because we had our SNET email, SNET. And I remember emailing Atari, and they sent in just a regular envelope. They sent me like the catalog of all the stuff they had, and everything was crazy cheap. Like every game was $19.99. Like the system was like $50 or whatever.
Oh, so this is '96 then.
They had like catalog, and then I ended up emailing or having a conversation with somebody
from Atari.
No, I don't know if it was like an Atari message board or something like that. And the guy was like chatting me up through email about like you should get a Jaguar, man. There's some good stuff on it. And then I remember going to Babbage's, and I was just like looking around. I remember Atari carts and a couple other games were on.
So their rack, I remember you walked in, and it was the wall. You had to do like a UE, and it was right there on the right side. And I know because it was right next to the Saturn games.
Yeah, and because the register was in the center of the little store.
Right.
I remember looking
at. They had a kiosk with a screen on the left when you walked into the store on the left.
Yeah. And I remember like going in there, and I was just kind of like walking around, like looking at some of the Jaguar stuff, and I was like, should I ask him? I don't know if I want to. Like, I was like 10. Like, I was like, hey, was like, hey, you got the Jaguar stuff. He was like, do you think the system's like any good? And the guy was just like, no. He was just like, no, it's not good at all. It's like there's only
complete
like a few,
partiality.
Yeah, there was, and I was just like, oh.
Well, he probably was like, don't spend your money, kid, because it's gonna be a wasted investment.
Yeah, I don't remember if he said anything after. I just remember asking him. I was like afraid to ask him or whatever.
You walked out with your head down.
And I was like, hey, you think the Jaguar's any good? And then he was just like, no, it's just don't even. He's like, don't even bother. I just remember walking out. I was like, man, I really like I want it. And then I remember like going back home and emailing the guy that I would have been talking to about the Jaguar. I was like, yeah, I just went to like Babbage's, and the guy just told me no. And then he emailed me. He's like, oh, that guy doesn't know anything. He's just like, dude, Jaguars. I wish there was some way to like get a hold of that transcript of the emails back and forth.
So let me ask you, 25 years on, who do you think was right? And I asked it as a serious question.
Jeez, can you even really answer that question? I mean, in terms of he was the guy at the store was right. I mean, it was a terrible system.
Here's the thing: they're both right.
I know that's what I'm trying to get at. I mean, now, I'm glad I have it. I love it. There's great games for it, but like you're talking about at the time, it was terrible. It was basically like
it's an opportunity cost because you got to look at what else was on the market.
Yeah. It was basically like a 16-bit system when they were peddling it as a 64-bit system when you had so many other better. We've we've beaten it to the ground about the Jaguar, but right. I'm glad I have it. But now.
We're looking in the rear view now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why the system costs, what, $500 in the box?
Yeah.
Or something like that now? Or is it even higher now?
No.
What's happened to the Jaguar market? I know we ask this question all the time,
but it's still about the same.
Still, it didn't go down?
No, like all the games that were still fairly high are about the same. Like Alien vs. Predator in box is still like 100, 125, 100 to 150, I guess, depending. I think like Rayman's still over 100. Like NBA Jam.
Do you have Rayman?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. Like NBA Jam still. That's still. I mean, maybe 150, 200.
Is it really?
There. Yeah.
I don't think I paid that much for it.
I thought you bought the box separate and then the cart, right? Didn't you piece them together?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I thought you said you did.
I don't know, maybe. I can't remember.
I thought you got the box and the mini from My Atari, and then you got like the loose one from somewhere else. So I thought that's what you said.
I mean, that was probably 2 years ago now.
Yeah, I think that's what you said though.
I mean, that's like. It's like from.
But yeah, it's still about the same, and then obviously.
That's like from Adam to Abraham. It's like I don't even. That's so far.
Yeah.
So much has happened in between.
Yeah, I mean the CD's gone. I mean, from a couple years ago, obviously the CD system in boxes.
That's cheap, right?
It's like 12.
Still
1,000, 1,200. Yeah. Well, yeah. Whatever.
Somewhere over.
Glad I got in before when I did.
Yeah.
As they say.
Yeah. Hold tight. Fall asleep with it in your arms.
With the controller in your arms, just all of them.
How's that 6-button controller holding up?
I haven't been playing my Jaguar.
Why not?
Why haven't? Why is
Show it some love. Cool, man. Well, so we're gonna meander through this whole thing because it's like a babbling brook.
Babbage's brook.
Yeah, babbling about Babbage's. So we were there, and Liz was just grabbing everything for whatever he wanted. It was just like on the wall. It was just like, you want this? Yep. You want this? Yep. That was.
Wait, when was this?
On Black Friday.
Like just now?
Yeah.
Oh! I thought you were talking about something.
There were some things that we picked up that he doesn't know about.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something from back in the day when you were at Black Friday.
We were reminiscing on Black Friday this year about back then.
Oh, okay.
And the girl who works there, who normally works at the Windsor store or whatever, was telling me that she knew all the guys that I was talking about from back in the day. I was like, "Yo, can you DM? Can you DM him and let him know I've been hollering about him?
I'm still in the game."
Yeah, deeper in the game. I just want to thank them for all their guidance. So while we were there, there's a game that he watches on YouTube that some of the people that he watches plays. and we picked it up because it looks kind of interesting. It's Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach.
Oh boy.
And I guess the best way to explain this game for those who haven't played it or seen it is it's not Five Nights at Freddy's if you have played that. It's a combination between Resident Evil, like the old Resident Evils, and hide and seek.
Okay.
So basically these animatronics have come to life and they want to get you. Mm-hmm. And so you have to kind of slink around this Chuck E. Cheese palace.
But it has like four
I want to
floors.
I want to go to this place. It's like a Chuck E. Cheese extravaganza. It's like a mall. It's a mall of Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay. All right. A big arcade.
Huge. And so
it does have a huge arcade and a giant.
So there's a lot of grab this thing, get this key card, upgrade this key card, go to this room, unlock this thing. So it's pretty obtuse. You kind of need to have a guide.
Pretty obtuse.
But there's also like a secret arcade game in it that you can play that's not a real game. It's like they made it for the game.
Mm-hmm. Strictly.
And, you know, it's a very good game. And it made me realize that, and something I'd like to talk about, whether we do it on this podcast or not, is just kind of like essential experiences when it comes to classic gaming. Because this game is a modern game, and I don't play a ton of modern games, but it really ties together atmosphere, story, and gameplay that melds in a way that makes it larger than the sum of its parts, you know? And it just does a really, really good job with that. It was only like $25. You know, it's a year old at this point.
It was new?
We got it new, yeah. But it's about a year old now.
Oh.
But a lot of fun.
I ain't never heard of that. Multiplayer? Or is it like one player?
No, it's just a one-player experience, which I like. I mean, you know, there's so many games that are multiplayer now. It's just...
Yeah, okay.
You know.
All right, okay.
Right. So this was a lot of fun. And even the bad guys have a lot of character, you know? So
who would have thought, huh? Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, and then it actually got me to start playing Resident Evil again. And so a few days ago, I plugged it in, and I will have a confession to make.
These are my confessions.
I've never played through Resident Evil 1 with Chris Redfield. I've only played through with Jill.
I haven't played through it.
I know.
I know. I'm disappointed in you.
But I'll tell you, man, the Chris playthrough is hard. Like, really hard. You get almost no, at least at the beginning, you get very, very little ink ribbons. Like, you do not want to save.
To save.
And that problem with that is that it heightens you up because you're just like, I can't screw up. The other night, I was playing. This guy had gone to bed, and she was waiting for me to watch The Office or whatever. You know, just get ready to go to bed and, you know, relax. I was in here for 3 hours. I had to replay the section I did 3 times, and I died in the end, and I had to go to bed just seething. Like, you don't want to go to bed having failed what you were trying to accomplish in a video game.
Well, how far were you in it?
I mean, it's still the first half. But, I mean, because I didn't have a ink ribbon, I was kind of trying to get farther than I should.
Yeah.
Because I needed an ink ribbon, and I didn't want to... You know, there's this whole management system between health and ammo and where you're going to try to not get in the way of zombies.
So do you know where everything is in the game at this point? No,
I'm following a guide.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm following a guide. No way. Game facts.
You're a nut, Trent. You want a pistachio?
No, I'm good.
All right. Yeah, I'm on GameFAQs
Right.
from a guide from 1990.
So you're like pausing it, looking at your phone, scrolling.
It's deep and dirty. Yeah, I should have the iPad. It would be better, but
time management, you know.
I mean, I printed out. That was the first guide. I printed out a GameFAQs guide.
If you're playing on that, you just pull it up on the big screen right there, so it's like always on the TV.
The guide?
Yeah.
How would I invert that though?
Oh, that's right. You got it sideways. You got it sitting sideways.
All in a daze. And so I'm having a lot of fun with that. I took an hour during work.
On my break.
I was working from home one day. Nobody else was home. I said, all right, I finished most of my work for this morning. I'm going to take 15 minutes and try to beat this part, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, okay. 15 minutes. Take you 15 minutes to boot it up.
Literally, because I got to get through the Saturn menu.
Just to get situated.
Because my battery's dead, so I have to get through that whole thing so I can get to the starting menu. Well, anyways, I did die once, but within an hour I found a save point. I had this much life left. I had gotten to danger. And, and I saved.
No green leaves or red leaves, potions.
There are, but there's a bunch of hounds in the way, and I didn't have that much ammo. And the guide was like, "You want to save your shotgun ammo." So I'm just blistering through, and there's a bunch
Did you find the shotgun? I thought you found the broken shotgun.
And then I found the shotgun.
Nice.
So I ended up being able to save. So I'm ready to go to kind of continue that. But the other thing that it made me realize is, and I don't know if you have a comment about that, Resident Evil or
No. I haven't played it
in
in
this
so
game.
long. I couldn't
In
remember
Security Breach,
anything
you can
about it.
save almost any time.
Yes.
Well, that's kind of like every game now.
Right. So
It's just like you just pause it and you hit save, and then wherever you are, it'll just save, which is nice. But
we didn't think about it back then, what it was. But going back to it now, I'm like into it because I'm like, I can't mess up here. Like these games, it's like you mess up, it's just like
you don't really. Yeah, I mean, we've said that you don't really die anymore. You just start from the last spot you were at.
But it's like I want it to be that way, the old way. But at the same time, I don't have a lot.
They don't understand.
But at the same time, I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like there's this weird sort of thing. I don't have a good word for it. Just trying to experience things the way we did, but also being efficient with our time. It's hard to do. And so it's almost like you have to give something up. You know what I mean?
So did you find another ink ribbon
I
to
did.
save it?
But I had to battle 2 massive spiders to get it.
Oh, you did?
I'm in like the guardhouse area.
Okay.
But I think the game opens up a little bit more as you get further. I think it's that first kind of like quarter of the game where you're kind of really vulnerable. But if I had known that, see with Jill, I feel like you can save a lot more. You get a lot more ink ribbons.
They just give you. There's just more.
Just earlier, there's more available. With Chris, he has 2 less item slots in his
Oh, really?
in his pack.
But what does he have? More health or something like that? Or
Something like that.
Yeah.
So there's like trade-offs, but Jill's supposed to be the easier campaign.
Just it's the same game. It just has more items. It doesn't change the story, does it? I haven't played it. It's the same
So
story.
Jill
right?
has a lockpick, and she can
Oh yeah, because she's the master.
of unlocking. So she can pick certain locks that he can't, and so she can get into certain things earlier that he can't. So you have more opportunity to get other items.
I don't remember ever playing as her.
I mean, I'll tell you this straight off the bat. Like Resident Evil is an essential experience. It's so much fun. It's like talking about like atmosphere, gameplay, and story, and it's just like I can't think of many experiences better than Resident Evil. You know?
Hey, we did a show about it.
I know we did, but I know.
I'm saying.
It's been a little while, and
Oh yeah, I know. Like a lot of people probably haven't even listened to that one. That was like 2 years ago, probably.
but I mean, there really are, like, if you're a newer gamer and you want to go back and you want to kind of get the download on what retro gaming or what gaming generations were before.
I know. Still not the you know.
No,
you
but-
don't get that same first time happening.
It's not the same, but what I'm trying to say is that I don't think you have to play 100 games or 200 games from the past to say that you kind of got the element of that experience. I feel like there's probably only
Dozen?
20. I was gonna say 25, 20 to 25 real essential experiences, and I'm just throwing the number out there. I haven't added them up, but there's really only certain things that you have to experience to say I experienced what was the best of that generation.
Yeah, you could pick, 3 games from like each system probably, and that would
Maybe, yeah.
Nintendo would like Mario, Zelda, and
Mario 3,
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess Mario kind of covers it. Zelda and I don't know, something else, Double Dragon or like I don't know, something like that, or like a Ninja Gaiden or something like that.
I don't even think Ninja Gaiden is, though.
No.
I don't think it's an essential
I guess
experience.
that's another topic for.
But just in speaking about Resident Evil, like the 2 games that come to mind for me that are kind of in that
Would be Mario 64.
vein, no. Well, Mario 64 definitely. But I mean, in that vein are Resident Evil 1 or 2, I guess, and Doom. Like those games,
Oh, okay.
like the atmosphere of those games is something that is amazing, and they were doing it on hardware that was nowhere near what these new consoles can do. You know, but they created that atmosphere. So Resident Evil, you know, it was great to. That's why I'm saying this Five Nights at Freddy's game is kind of cool, because it made me wax nostalgic for.
It made me reminisce
stuff like Resident Evil, and I was able to go back and you know, I'm having fun with that experience. You know,
I'm happy for you.
Yeah. So we're doing that, and then the other thing too is that like all these things kind of like they adjoin each other. So what am I playing Resident Evil on? I'm playing it on
Saturn,
on Saturn, but I'm playing it on brand new to me CRT television. This guy at my work, his father did freelance video editing back in the 90s for like insurance companies, and he's had a lot of old technology in his basement for like 25 years. And I said, you know, shot in the dark, you know, if your dad has any old video monitors from back then, I know a lot of those guys would use those types of things. Let me know if he's got any laying around, because I'll buy one from you.
I was gonna ask you, shoot your shot, you know?
Right? I mean, what am I gonna do? So he comes to me one day and he just goes, "Yeah, so my dad has this this Sony PVM. Do you want it?" And I'm like,
didn't he have like a bunch, or was there a few?
I think he mentioned he might have a couple extra ones, but he still uses them.
Oh, so that's what I meant. I think you said. I remember you told me. I think you said you had a few of them or a bunch of them.
So this one was just sitting in a corner somewhere for years. And so he shows me a picture. I'm like, oh wow. Now I'm like getting excited.
Now I'm intrigued.
And I'm like, is it like a 12-inch, or do you know how big it is? And he goes, I think it's a little bit bigger than that. Well,
and you're like, no.
I'm like, there's no way. So come to find out, the model number of this television is a Sony PVM 1954Q. Very, very low hours. And
what, it tracks the hours of use on it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wow. So it wasn't used that much. It wasn't in a hospital setting or a security setting where it was like on all the time.
Yeah.
So it was used in video editing. So whenever he edited something, he would turn it on.
It wasn't running like all day and night.
No, and he had other ones he was using too. So I am now the owner of a fantastic CRT television that is great. I mean, for what I paid for it, it's worth way more to me. I had one before, but it was like 9 inches, and it's like you can't really enjoy a game at 9 inches.
I remember we were sitting in front of it. I was like, I mean, it looks nice, but
it's not worth it at that
yeah.
You know, it's like, so, but at 19 inches,
oh yeah,
it's real deal. And
big.
I mean, the thing about a PVM to me that is really special is the, what was the term that I called it? Pixel stability. Just the way everything runs.
That's what we all say.
Well, I just kind of came up with it on my own. I'm just like, what is it about this image that's so good? And it was that the colors didn't bleed. Obviously, it's RGB, but it just had everything just stayed in place. There was no jittering. There was no bleeding from the image, or the phosphors were just really high quality. So it's been an awesome time playing on this screen. And I'll say that I also, Sal and I have been playing a lot of House of the Dead. So we ran through House of the Dead, me and him. And
on the PVM.
We started on that, but this is what I was going to get to. We finished playing on the Sony Wega, and I'll tell you what, I don't think it's worth it to hunt down a Sony PVM like religiously, like going on a a journey to find one.
Yeah, I mean that's a hunt.
It's like a needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
When you might be able to find like a Sony Wega or one of these component televisions, because I'll tell you what, we put House of the Dead on there and we put it on the Wega, and honestly, there's not that much difference.
Yeah.
A TV with really good component input, like a Sony Trinitron, something like that, is almost just as good. Like it's like, okay, am I going to pay $800 for a 19-inch PVM, or am I going to pay $50 to nothing
for like a 32-inch
for a 32-inch component input?
Well, yeah.
CRT. You know what I mean?
I mean, you would have never got that unless just
no, I
fell
wouldn't
in your lap.
It just
you know?
Exactly. It was just a shot in the dark. So, But it made me believe even more in the traditional CRT if it has an RGB or some kind of component input.
Yeah.
It's almost like in the size too makes it that much better. You know what I mean? Like having a
It's
big
really the only way to play.
having a big screen like that to play like light gun games or really anything. And the PS2 looks fantastic. Like that generation looks
With
amazing.
component, yeah.
Through component?
I can imagine.
Remember we were playing Shaolin Monks?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
It looks incredible.
Flawless. Yeah, flawless.
So I came away with the determination that PVMs are awesome and they're also completely unnecessary.
Yeah,
You
but
know-
I mean,
you know what I mean?
If you can get one, get it. But
But
don't go after it.
But if you have
Unless
to,
you get it
if
cheap,
you have to
you know.
settle for a CRT television that has really good inputs and looks really nice, there's no reason to be upset about that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's more just to kind of say like you have it.
Yeah. Right. Well, I like playing on it.
No, I mean I understand.
But that's one that you're going to play on if you're by yourself. You're not going to play on that if you got
4-player.
2 or 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
You know, like I would play 3 or 4 player on that 32 inch,
Oh, all day.
like No Mercy or something like that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And so that even got me into another realm of saying, like,
The Nether Realm.
me questioning myself. Oh, by the way, I've been all over like the message boards, the Reddits, the eBays, on like just trying to find different CRTs just to learn about them, because I've gotten this new, even more renewed appreciation for that technology. There's a guy on YouTube, RetroTech, who's awesome to watch, and he goes through all the PVMs and CRTs and things to look out for, and it's just fun, kind of like just in the background viewing, you know. And it made me start to question, like, you know, what is the purpose of the setup that I've spent so much time and money putting together? And it really, they both have their place, right? So
I mean, it's just more
there's
convenient.
a
I guess.
convenience of
Yeah.
of the setup of with your OLED or your LCD TV or whatever, with some kind of input, you know, to be able to go out to that with all your systems and make it where you don't have to constantly be pulling stuff out and plugging them in or whatever. And if you have, you know, 4 or more people, it's convenient to have a setup that has it on the OLED. But I will tell you, there's nothing like the image on a CRT. There really, really isn't. We try to get close with every upscaling device and
Scan lines.
putting the scan lines that I never bought. But
No, it doesn't look good. I don't think ever.
what?
Like the scan line filter on
I know.
everything.
But
like,
even without the scan lines, it looks great. But there's just something about a CRT television that is like the way it was meant
just
to be.
looks more smooth and crisp, you know. Because when you're blowing up that thing onto like a 70-inch TV, I mean, it looks good for what it
70-inch
is, but it's
TV.
just not the same. Like you play Turtles in Time on a CRT as compared to putting it on the.
Well, no, I think it still looks good, but it's just different.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it still looks great, but like when you play it on it, when you like go back to a CRT, you're like, this is what I remember.
It's like the shoe that fits perfectly.
Yeah.
No, I know. That's kind of how I feel about it. So it's like I'm like a little conflicted now because I feel like I should be using my new technology, but I just love sitting in front of a TV like too close.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like closer than I should be, and just kind of getting immersed in that, what that does, you know, and just everything about it is just immersive.
Yeah. I mean, it's like one of the like.
And there's no lag.
Yeah.
There's none of that. Everything is just like immediate.
Yeah, it's like, just like one of those things that like you experienced it originally, so that's kind of how you want to play it. It's
True.
It's like vinyl records and CDs. Like technically CD, like well, I mean, technically when it
better
switched
sound,
over, I mean
digital
not
sound.
anymore, but like yeah, vinyl is a little more cumbersome to do. But like if you grew up on vinyl, like you want to hear the little crackles and the pops, and some people think it does sound better. You know, it's like that same kind of thing.
An authentic sound.
Yeah.
It's like a camera, right? Like like an old style camera that does analog and not digital.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, technically it doesn't look as good as the new digital photo with HDR and all that stuff, but there's just something there's something classic about that image where you're not losing the image, you still have the image.
Yeah.
And it's just is what it is. So I guess that's the way technology works in all these aspects. It's not just video games. it's how we view them, and how we listen to them and experience them, and somebody like Nomad Steve, who has like a retro setup, like even down to his couch, and like his TV stand, and
he's got his the TV with the VCR
on the side, rabbit ears coming out the top, with some kind of transcoder that can take the digital image and make it analog so that his TV can actually receive it.
When my phone rings, my TV turns on, and
right. But I appreciate stuff like that.
Yeah.
People like him are keeping the dream alive when it comes to like CRTs and stuff. CRTs now are, I don't know if you noticed, they're starting to climb a little bit for people who know.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course.
It's still kind of.
It's kind of how it goes.
Like that would be my advice to you guys: is if you want a CRT or you want to look into something like that, strike now, because like anything else, those are going to start to go up eventually.
Oh yeah, they already have been. I mean, the best thing to do is go on Facebook Marketplace, because there's still a lot of people that probably have them in their basement or just somewhere.
What about Craigslist? Because I know that we don't use Craigslist, but a lot of older people that may have used Craigslist in the past, they don't know about Facebook Marketplace, and maybe they're going to put it on Craigslist.
I don't know. I haven't used Craigslist in forever. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of times...
It's just ads now for people who say they want to buy your stuff.
Yeah, it's... I say on Facebook because a lot of people sometimes... But a lot of people are just giving them away because they're so heavy, they don't even want to deal with it. It's just like... And they'll just put it up. They'll just list it as, like, old TV free or whatever, And sometimes, maybe it'll be, like, $50 or something. Or something like that.
Did I tell you that I found this guy in Enfield, the RGB Mods CRTs?
You got his phone number?
No, he's on IG. I actually had a conversation that you probably have seen.
Yeah.
But he told me that he would modify my my 27-inch or my 24-inch Trinitron
To modify it
for RGB.
Wait, what TV?
I have a Sony Trinitron in the basement that does S video.
Oh, it's in the basement.
Yeah.
Oh,
24-inch.
So, what are you gonna do with that one, though?
Have it.
It's gonna be where it is now, but it's gonna be modded.
Well, what happens if this thing dies?
I know, but it's just funny.
Like, I want to preserve the technology.
What are you gonna do with it? I'm gonna have it.
I'll bring all my shoes and my glasses with me, so I have them.
It's gonna be in the corner in the basement, but it's gonna be modded.
It's gonna be modded though, and I know it. Nobody else is gonna know it.
Right?
But you know what? It's gonna derive personal satisfaction.
No, yeah,
from moi.
Exactly. Is that like an expensive thing? How is it?
A little bit.
What is it at this point, really?
He's also gonna recap that.
Why it needs to be, or you just want it just in case?
There's like 40 or 50 caps that are prone to go, and it can ruin the motherboard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's not going to be as much as the mod.
It sounds like a lot.
So
40, 50 recap.
40
capacitors.
Yeah. So
to redo 40, it just sounds like a lot. I don't know if that's expensive or not.
He quoted me $175 for like a complete overhaul of the Trinitron.
Wow.
RGB and all that other stuff.
That's a lot.
It kind of is, but it's also a Sony Trinitron that will last forever. I don't know, man. After playing...
I'm not saying... I mean, go ahead and do it.
I'm just saying, like, how much money have I spent on modding systems and getting cords and getting the FrameMeister and buying a $2,300 OLED? I mean, I'm out of my mind.
I mean, I get it.
It's all I have.
I know. I'm not stopping you. Do your thing. Do your thing, 21. Do your thing.
As I mean mug you. So yeah, I mean, I would say get on it. Get down on it if you guys want to experience that. Even you don't need to get a 32. What's going on here with you with your headphones?
If you can though, you
don't have to though.
You'll be the most satisfied with a 32-inch one.
Pause.
No, I think you'll be satisfied.
Well, but if you're not ready to go to the 32,
everyone's ready for 32. Is it not the best? Like, that's the size you want for a CRT is a 32-inch TV. I mean, you have a 27, but when you're playing it, you'll be like, which was just a little bit bigger, just in terms of the screen.
You can be farther away from it with a 32.
Yeah, I mean, I had I had like a Emerson 27-inch TV, like when I was in college.
Nice.
And it was great, man. I remember playing like DVDs through S Video. I was
Yeah.
like, wow, this is like so.
It looked fantastic,
It
right?
was like so crisp. Even playing, I think I had some of my. I think I had my 360 and like. PS2
I remember
through
that
S-Video.
TV, and I remember you playing on it.
Yeah, I had the PS2 through like S Video. I think
You did have the PS2.
I remember playing
video.
like Burnout. I was like, man, it looks so good.
It looked awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was just 480i.
Geez, I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
It was a flat screen CRT.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. And I remember bringing that like when I got my. This was like 2012.
Dude, any of those from like the early 2000s, like Sanyo or like RCA, a lot of those were just fantastic. JVC made really good ones.
JVC has, yeah. I just remember I remember bringing it to Goodwill because I was like, oh, I've known this was 2011,
So what I learned,
2012.
if I made nerd out a little bit, what I learned is that the patent for Sony's Trinitron technology for the aperture grill. So basically, the screen behind the actual front of the TV that allows light to go through. It's the reason why Sony TVs were so much brighter, but also clear. That patent expired in '96. So
96.
right. So then other companies were able to use the aperture grill, not a shadow mask, and so everybody kind of was on the same plane after like 97, 98.
You went deep into the Reddit, huh?
I've gone.
This just sounds like Reddit talk.
It's just.
Did you 25 years ago? Say that again. The what? The
Aperture grill. No, I learned that from Retrotech on YouTube.
just the way you were talking. I was like, this has got to be Reddit.
I definitely have gone off the deep end on the Reddit stuff.
The aperture grill.
It's all I have. So, get a CRT is, I guess, the moral of the story, just so you can experience it. If you've never played it, if you're younger and you've never played on a CRT, I highly recommend it. And I highly recommend the bigger screen that you have, you'll need a better input. So, if you've got a 15-inch TV, composite all day. Like, that'll look awesome. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That looks great.
It'll look crisp no matter what.
I have that
Little 13-inch
thing,
or
Sanyo or something like that I have.
VCR TV combo one.
Right,
yeah.
and that looks awesome with composite.
Yeah.
But the larger TV that you get, you're going to want better input. So if you're getting into the 20s, S-Video is fantastic. And then if you get into the 30s or higher, S-Video, or if you can do component.
Hey, I would say like 19 and above. Just wait until you can find one that has component inputs on it, you know. Because you have so many better options, you know.
They're out there.
Especially with like, you know, the HD Retrovision cables for the Genesis and the Super Nintendo.
Well, you can't even find those anymore though. They're not even in production.
Oh no,
they're like $200 on eBay now.
All right, well, maybe next time.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna try to make them again, but yeah. What I heard is that if you go to like a Savers or a Goodwill right now, a lot of people during the holidays, during like December, get rid of their old stuff and donate it. So it's actually a really good time to go to thrift stores.
Yeah, until they're charging $150 for a TV.
Savers is the only one that takes CRTs anymore, right? Goodwill doesn't take CRTs.
I don't know.
Have you seen a CRT in any of these places?
One, I remember I sold it to someone. It was brand new in the box. It was like a 14-inch VCR combo one. It was like it had never been taken out of the box.
Wow.
I sold it to a guy. But that's the only one. Yeah, I think that's something that's just
side of the road.
It's just too heavy to deal with for them to take in.
It's a side of the road proposition.
Yeah.
Summertime.
Yeah, I don't even think I've seen. I don't even think I've ever seen one at Savers. I mean, you did years ago, right? Mm-hmm. Was that a JVC one or something you got at Savers? What's the one you had in the other room?
The little RCA?
No, that was
There was a Magnavox that was just but all of those I found on the side of the road.
Oh. Didn't you get one at Savers?
I did.
A CRT? Yeah.
Well, I got a Panasonic HD CRT that was a widescreen.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that had HDMI in the back of it.
Yep.
Yeah. What'd you end up doing with that one?
I sold it.
Oh, you did? Oh.
Yeah, I got $50 for it, and I bought it for like 20.
Yeah.
So, this guy wanted it for his daughter. She had just moved back to town from like Colorado, and he wanted a cheap TV for her, so he got this HD CRT, whatever, to each his own. Came with the controller,
Oh, the remote, yeah.
Yeah. And then I bought the S-Video CRT that I have in the basement right now. I got that at Savers as well.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
They had a lot of really good Trinitrons back then, man. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like
'Cause
five, 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah, because I think I remember you calling me. I think that you said they got like 2 of them sitting there. I think did you get them both that day? Was that what it was?
I think so.
Yeah, they had 2 CRTs like right next to each other.
Yeah. I mean, I was crazy. I mean, I was right,
No.
but I was
not
kind of
crazy about that.
I was kind of nuts back then because nobody was talking about that stuff. It was all, LED, LCD TVs, But yeah, so I mean, that's all I got to say about that. So to make a segue that doesn't really make any
Segue at all.
sense. This is another one I got recently, Sonic Frontiers, which is Sonic the Hedgehog meets Zelda Breath of the Wild, pretty much.
It's like an open world Sonic.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tailored, like, there's only places you can
The
go.
hardest bosses ever.
It's not as open world as that, but it's got that atmosphere to it where it's kind of like dreary, and it's like the music is sort of like
It's not real colorful.
not crazy colorful.
Like earthy kind of.
Very, very dark earth tones, though. It's only when you get into the, like, there's these pillars that or like these towers that you can go into to play like a traditional Sonic level.
Oh, yeah.
And so you have to complete those, and the more challenges inside of those that you complete, like if you complete it.
Are we just at the point
Fast.
where there's just like nobody wants these Sonics? We just want regular Sonic? We haven't got.
Sonic Mania was the one.
We're still.
and that
not,
was awesome.
We're still not. We're still like fighting against that still.
Sega's fighting against it because they want Sonic to be everything.
How about you just sell what people want?
Huh?
How about you just sell what people want?
Because I wasn't playing it.
What? Say again?
I wasn't playing it.
What?
I was building it.
Oh, you were building something. Cool. Are you gonna come back or no? Maybe you can. You can if you want. Okay, we're almost done.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I just wanted to go over here. I'll still be in the room.
awesome. I'm so glad, buddy. You can play your thing over there. I will tell you, I'm enjoying
your
it.
thing.
I am enjoying it.
So it's good.
Yes, I do. I am enjoying it.
So
It
it's
is
actually
fun.
a good game though.
Yes, you would like it.
Okay.
Yeah, you would like it. And the fact that you have to beat the levels you have to do well at them makes you, because if you don't beat them at a certain, like there's
Percentage
like
or-
a S ranking, which is the best ranking, that gives you keys. The better you do, the better letter grade you do,
Keys open doors.
and those keys allow you to get into new places and
The
get
key
new
to
things.
life.
So it's like there's some of that classic, and then it's mixed with this newer stuff where you have to fight these massive giant bosses, and almost like Colossus in a way.
I guess I'm just so out of the loop. I didn't even know there was a Sonic game out. Or,
It's good, but it's. I was looking at DF Retro, not DF Retro, but Digital Foundry, and they were saying, do not buy Sonic Frontiers if you don't have an Xbox Series X or a PS5 because it runs atrociously.
why? It's on PS4.
It's on PS4, and it's not as good on PS4 or the Xbox, anything lower than the Series X.
Oh.
And then it's on Switch, and they said it's abysmal. Like, it's abysmal on the Switch. It barely runs.
Wow.
Yeah, so they said get it on the PS5.
Good job, Sega.
Trying to put it on everything,
I put that on everything.
Yeah. The most exciting thing I got since last podcast was this little number here, because I'm of course I'm still interested in the Sega CD stuff, and
No big deal.
I love fighting games, and I copped a deal.
I remember I was like, oh yeah, so what, you're gonna get Fatal Fury Special next? You're like, eh. And then like the next day, so I broke down and I got Fatal Fury Special.
So the game is Fatal Fury Special in immaculate condition.
I'll give you that. You're like, no, I think I'm gonna wait.
I'm not even going to tell the story about this. I felt like I got a very good deal on it.
That's how they get you.
I had to strike. And it is I don't care what anybody says online. It's a fantastic version of this game.
Oh, why were you? Did you? Was it?
Everybody craps on it, like
Why? Because it's not the art. It's not arcade.
It's not.
perfect.
Yeah, it's not arcade perfect. They cut this, they cut that, but it plays just like the game.
Yeah, they took one of the. What's that big character? Right, he's not in it or whatever.
Earthquake or something. I don't know. No, he's in it.
Isn't there one guy they took out? Yeah, and then
one of the boss characters they took out.
And then I thought it doesn't have the scaling, right?
It doesn't have the scaling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's okay.
It plays great.
Yeah. No, it does play good, and
Is it worth the price? No. But
again, it's all relative.
Yeah.
To who?
I know, but because the ones, I guess, Fatal Fury 2 would be Fatal Fury Special, I guess.
It is.
Yeah.
Fatal Fury Special is like the special championship edition of Fatal Fury 2.
It's one of those games where if you're going for the whole shebang, you got to have it.
Right.
And it is good.
Yes.
It is good.
It is good. I don't like to buy very expensive, poorly made games.
But again, no one does.
Right. you would know about that with your Jaguar Adventures.
Yeah. I don't like to spend a lot on bad games. You don't say.
Well, you know how it is when you're
I understand.
trying to get a set or something like that. Apparently, this is actually a pretty rare game too.
Well, the price would
but
agree.
You would think that Fatal Fury Special or a Fatal Fury game would have had a decent run.
I feel like it
more than Bouncers.
I have that. I feel like it.
Salvatore, can you lower the volume on that?
I feel like it feels like a later release.
93.
Fatal Fury. So I guess not.
It's not too early. I mean, it's not in the cardboard box age, but it's also not in the 95 Lords of Thunder age either. So. And then this came in today, actually, of all things, and I ordered this back in April.
Wow.
Yep. And took that long to come in from Frankfurt, Germany.
From Germany?
Yeah.
Wait, do you have two of them?
Huh?
You have two sets?
Quiet about that, because it's for somebody. But this came in. It's a gift.
Cotton Eye Joe?
Yeah, so this is Magical Night Dreams, Cotton 2, Cotton Boomerang, and Guardian Force, the Saturn tribute.
I don't know what you just said.
On Nintendo Switch from Strictly Limited Games. It's
Strictly.
It's the like the collector's box set, I guess. I don't know. It comes with this. I mean, feel how heavy. I don't even know what's in here. Just a massive.
It's a brick.
I mean, you can open it if you want, because I'm gonna open it eventually. It comes with
Cotton Guardian Force Saturn tribute.
Yeah, it comes with a sticker, a postcard, which nobody will ever mail.
It's a box, and all it is a digital download card.
That's it. It's like a brick.
Thanks for your purchase.
Here's a 50-pound brick, and then it has just a download card.
Here's your digital card to download the game.
This is a box that says Tea Time.
Is it like a coffee pot or a teapot?
Is that what it is?
I don't know. I mean, it says tea time on it. It's probably like a little teapot,
probably,
or like a coffee cup, or what do you call it? A cup you put tea in? A teacup?
A teacup?
But like a big mug? Let's find out live on air.
A Maneki Neko.
We'll do it live.
Oh no, it's just a.
We'll do it live.
Oh, this is.
It is a teacup.
Yeah, but it's got like the logos on it.
Oh, it's a coffee cup.
Yeah.
Well, actually, not a coffee cup because it doesn't have a handle.
No, it's like a jasmine tea
little ceramic cup.
Like one you would have tea in. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this.
Leave it in the box.
Put it on the shelf like Stinky Pete.
Put it on the shelf like everything else.
I don't know if I want to keep it in the box. I might want to keep it out.
I got you.
You know what? I'll bring it to work and put pens in it.
There you go. All your colored pens. Just
That's
like
right.
my man John.
Just like John from
John
from Red Robin. What a wonderful sweet man.
Yeah, it is a fairly heavy. There must be some kind of collectibles in here, huh?
Yeah. Let me see.
It's nice little setup though, huh? Strictly limited.
Strictly limited. Yep. No reciprocation.
Okay.
What? Did I say something wrong?
No, nothing at all. So I don't know anything about this game. Like what is it? It's a shooter.
It's a shooter. Side-scrolling shooter. There's only two games: fighting games, beat 'em ups, and shooters. Which is technically 3.
And I'm assuming this obviously was a Japan only release.
These were Japan only games.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
But like Cotton Boomerang is like a $400 game on its own. So to get all of these, it'd be like close to $1,000. So for $75 shipped or thereabouts, I got the collector's edition of all 3 games on Switch. Is it the same as the Saturn? No, it's not.
But money management.
Right. I
I
mean
mean, it's a pretty cool little ooh. You got some those soundtracks, or do they come on?
There's some
Collector cards.
looks like collector or trading cards. There's a Guardian Force original soundtrack.
Oh, nice. We're getting CDs.
Yeah. There's a Cotton 2 and Cotton Boomerang original soundtrack. Look at that.
Wow. Now, have you ever played these
Nope.
games? Or
I've never played them.
you've watched videos? Is the music
watched
good?
I've watched some videos. I don't. What's memorable to me is the gameplay. Like the game, it's a cute 'em up on steroids, essentially. To me, that's what it looks like.
But Guardian Force doesn't look like that.
No, Guardian Force it's in the same vein
Yeah.
as them, but it's not. It's not the same like canon or whatever.
Canon.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
So it comes with a cute little cotton figure.
Oh, a little PVC figurine.
Yeah, I love that.
I love that for you.
She's on her broomstick. There's a pin, Guardian Force pin. Recognize?
All right, nice little pin. Guardian Force.
I feel like for $75, this is like
little cheap,
pretty good. This is like
Rulers?
the arcade. This is the arcade
like those stickers.
sticker that tells you like what the buttons do.
Oh, so were they were arcade games originally
Yeah,
in Japan?
STV. So it's like the Saturn arcade.
Yeah.
Guardian Force is a top-down game, so maybe this can go in tape mode. Or tate mode, as people like to call it.
I think it's Tate, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, all 3 games have a controller setup thing.
This is a nice unboxing we got going on here.
There's something else in here. Why is it so heavy still?
It's just a box.
What is in here?
They actually packed you like 48 Switch cartridges. Is it like a commemorative plaque or
That would be
something
a
like
bad,
that?
bad business.
It's gotta be like a book or something about the whole history of the games.
2-player co-op. You can join mid-game. That's pretty cool. Huh.
Ain't that something?
I don't know what the purpose of that is, but
Just to fatten the package, you know.
it's like it's cool little swag though.
Cotton Boomerang.
Master the rotating turret and command 5 types of gun.
That's that translation for you. 5 types of gun.
Here's another. I don't know what you call these. These are like
They look like they're just like instead of an instruction manual, you
instruction
get like
cards.
Yeah.
Colorful instruction. Like
it's like the button layout.
full
basically.
color.
Maybe these were like the things they had for the arcade, like back in the day too. Maybe.
Look at all these stickers.
Oh, a sticker sheet. Everyone loves stickers.
They don't quite fit though. See, that's the problem. Look at that.
Little curled up.
They're a little curled up a little bit.
Well, you know,
There's a lot to fit in here.
stickers
though.
are all good.
Yeah.
All right, we're still going. There's a lot to unpack in this box.
Yeah. What the heck? This is all $75.
I mean, it's definitely worth it. I don't even know what it is.
Oh, is this a poster?
Fold out poster.
Oh.
Oh.
I love stuff like this because I will frame it.
I will go frame it tomorrow.
Oh, yo, dog.
No idea what that is. A lot of girls.
Oh, I like the well.
Oh,
I'm
there's
not,
a
I'm not gonna say.
Is that like the teacup right
That's
there?
like the teacup. Yeah.
Oh, there
it must
you
be
go.
like an in-game item. Why wouldn't they make the cup the same thing though? Why?
Probably just have all the logos on them.
You know what I mean? Like I get it, but it doesn't belie what it is on the outside. You know?
Yeah, I'm so like
Like this is fantastic.
anal OCD. I hate the folded posters. I just don't.
Oh really?
Yeah, I can't do it. I could like if it's like a thing in a game and it looks like a cool poster, it fold out. I just can't do it.
There's more.
I hate the creases. It just
I know.
It just,
I get you.
It just irks me so much.
Really?
Yeah, I could never like frame a
Man,
folded poster.
you're like on the spectrum
or hang it
about
up.
the
It's
posters.
gotta be flat. You know.
But you can't really do that if you're.
No, I understand. It is a book, right?
There's an art book here. Like this is quite the package.
It's definitely $75 worth.
There's like interviews in here about the games.
Staff interview.
Like this is you're getting your money's worth.
I wonder how many they did. few thousand.
Look at that.
Yeah. I mean, this is a hefty it's a hefty packet for $75. I mean, a Switch game, just a Switch game is like $60.
I know.
You know, like a regular one game. It's like $60. That's
Pretty solid.
Nice little it's a hardcover book too.
Yeah. And then
the game itself.
right there.
Which is a download card.
It better not be, is it?
No, I hope not. That'd be terrible.
They give you all this stuff and then it's a download card.
Release 53. So you think they're individually numbered?
Probably.
Oh, I mean, this is like strictly limited. It's 53rd game, maybe.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I'm just throwing a number out there, maybe 5,000
That's still a lot.
that they made.
You know?
It took them a year to get it out, though.
Well, you said April.
I did it in April, but they opened up the pre-orders, I think, at the end of last year, like November.
And they were still taking pre-orders all the way up until April?
They're still... this has not sold as well as they, I guess, expected, because they still open. You can still buy them.
Same price? It's not like... Oh.
Yeah.
I mean...
So you don't have to have your money loaned out for a year. You can just buy it now.
I mean, not that I know everything, but I've never heard of... Like, I have no idea what this... You know what I'm saying? So, we're talking about, like, a niche of a niche that would want it, I guess, you know? Mm-hmm. You gotta be like
I mean, you like shooters, though.
No, I know, but I've never heard of this game, and I feel like I'm fairly knowledgeable.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Panorama Cotton, which didn't come out here, but it was like a Space Harrier type game on the Genesis?
On the no.
And it looks like it's got that 3D perspective, but it's Cotton. So yeah, no, I'm pretty stoked, man. I mean, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely well worth it. You got 2 CD soundtracks, the game, you got a pin, a little figure,
a cup,
a stack of cards, like 3 sticker sheets, 3 like controller layouts,
a poster,
3 stickers, the poster, this nice
whole hard sleeve with the
and
sleeve
then you
and
got
everything.
the teacup
the
by
art
itself.
book.
That's a lot. $75.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like, I don't even care what game it was. That's worth it. You know, like, you know, with all that stuff you got with it, well, definitely worth it.
Yeah, because I got 2 of them. I got one for somebody else, and I got them all shipped the same time. And I think it was $150, so it had to be like $75 each.
Yeah.
You know,
can't complain about that.
No. So yeah, the Nintendo Switch. It's the gift that keeps on giving with a lot of this retro stuff.
Did they only put it on the Switch?
It's on PS4 as well. But I didn't want it on that.
No, like, so it came like the same, like, limited edition thing for the PS4?
Yep, for the PS4.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just, like, there's certain things I want to have on the PS5, and then there's certain things where I'm okay with it.
I mean, why would you need a retro game on a PS4?
I just want to use my Saturn controller, and I can use that on Switch. I can't use that on the PS5.
Yeah, but then just, like, just having the ability to, like, if you just want to play handheld, you can do that.
And that's the other thing, too, is if I want to play it handheld, I can do that. I can't... It's a little bit harder to manipulate that. You gotta get the Remote Play app open, and then, like, I can do that if I really want to, and I've talked about that previously on the podcast, but the Switch just makes it so easy to pick it up and
like,
play it.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like a graphic heavy game.
No.
You like where it's going to be.
Well, it's emulation. I mean, it's not even.
That's what I'm saying.
For the hardware.
There's not going to be a difference between this and the PS4 version, or you know what I mean.
They're about the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep. So yeah, so it's a fun time of year. There's a lot more time, to play video games and kind of indulge a little bit, in these colder days, so you might have some vacation time coming up. So play some retro games, guys. Play some video games. Enjoy your Christmas, your holidays, and this is what it's all about. So grab an old CRT, grab a Sega Genesis or a Super Nintendo or a 64 with even just the yellow cord, man. Just throw that puppy in there.
That one AV cable.
Just throw that puppy in there and just get to gaming. Play some GoldenEye, play some Mario 64, play some whatever your fancy is. The best game in the world is the game you're playing and enjoying right now.
And then I have one thing I want to mention real quick.
You mentioned your thing.
So I got it like 2 months ago.
Lower the volume.
I got it like 2 months ago, and I just forgot to tell you that I got it.
For me?
No.
Oh.
Oh, then I'm done. I got that Repro the 6-button controller for the Jaguar.
Yeah.
So I now have an official Pro controller
Ooh, in the box.
in the box.
What happened here?
I got it on eBay like 2 months ago.
Aren't they like $200?
More than that, and I had forgot about it. So the way eBay does it now, when you sell stuff, they don't use PayPal anymore.
No, it's just direct to your bank account, right?
But now they do it, which I don't know why they never did it, is when you sell stuff on eBay, you can just keep it in your eBay account and you can use it as spendable money.
Yep, that's cool too.
Which they never, they did that before.
No,
So
that's
like,
cool. I like that idea.
so I'm always like selling stuff.
eBay likes that idea.
Yeah, of course, because it probably just makes them more money when your funds are just in there. It's like you don't.
They're getting
it's like you're not even.
They're getting 1% off of the
it
money.
feels like you're not even like spending it because it's like, well, I don't even have it anyway.
No, they're earning money off of you leaving.
That's what I'm saying. And so someone had listed this for $120.
Why?
On I didn't
Does
know.
it work?
It was I was like it was on like a Saturday morning or whatever. It was like 2 months ago.
Do you do that where you go in, you type Jaguar, and then newly listed?
Usually like once a day, I'll just check just to see what's on there or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I saw a Pro controller like in the box for 120. So I was like, do I get it? Do I get it? Do I not get it? I was like, all right, I gotta get it. I was like, because they're like $300 in the box.
Wow.
So yeah, I gotta.
That's awesome. How does it play versus the other one?
It's pretty much the same exact.
Okay.
The thing, the buttons are like the CBA, ZYX or whatever. They're a little different, but
I see.
I mean, the repros they made, and they're like, they took everything and just like literally just like remade it. I wish I should have brought the other one with me just to. But these buttons are a little different, but it's so much better than the 3-button one.
And just in terms of the grip, or what's the? Oh, the buttons feel snappy.
Yeah,
this is way snappier than those square mushy things.
Yeah, they're like kind of mushy. And then
even the LNRs are.
Well, I mean,
pretty clicky.
The regular controller doesn't have an LNR or whatever.
No, I know, but I'm saying they're pretty clicky.
Yeah, the D-pad's a little bit better on that one too. So I mean, it's definitely, there's only like a couple games that actually use it, like Fight for Life and Atari Cards.
Well, you got 2 of them though that can have.
Yeah, I mean now like the repros are going for like 80 to 100.
Wow. This is in really good shape.
Yeah, so I was like, I have to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like 2 months ago. I forgot.
What? It's just called the Pro controller.
Yeah. The Pro controller. Yeah, they usually go for 300 plus or whatever.
Wow.
Because I mean, they made these at like literally the end of the life cycle of the Jaguar.
Mm-hmm.
So we got all these controllers. I guess we got to put them out, even though we're gonna lose money.
I know.
I
know. That's a nice score, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Good for you. Good looks. You got to be on. You got to be ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah. So now
if you're not ready to pull the trigger, don't clutch it.
Yeah. So now I have 6 controllers for the Jaguar. 4
Nice.
3-button and 2 6-buttons.
You're ready to go. Is there any 6-player games?
Double link the
White Man Can't Jump.
I guess like the next thing I could get is the Jag Link. You get another Jag.
Oh, man.
And then link the 2 together and you can play Doom. That's
wow.
Just for that.
That's pretty wild. I mean, what else are we gonna do?
We're running out of options.
I'm still trying to get us to get zero tolerance to get that link.
Oh, didn't you say there's like someone that made or modified something?
And I saw some on eBay recently, and I didn't pull the trigger because I'm dumb.
Like the official cable?
No,
or like
no. These are just like
someone made it or something.
Well,
like
I guess the reason why I didn't do it is because they're from China. So they're from China. So I was, or Japan, not Japan, China. So I was like, I don't know if I really want to, buy something like that. I mean, I'm sure it probably is okay, but it just kind of fell off the radar. Right when we were about to end.
I had to extend it just a little bit.
You did. All right. Well, anyways, we'll tie it up here, guys. Whatever you're doing, play some retro games. If this helped you at all, throw us a like if you guys enjoyed this. Let us know your thoughts. How do you guys like to play games? I mean, have you gone back to CRTs? What do you like about the way that you play? What do you What are you hoping for Christmas? What are you looking forward to? What do you guys plan? I mean, that's the kind of stuff that
What's going on?
I want to engage with you guys on and kind of learn about. So
not with the N-Gage, but even
if it is the N-Gage, but whatever you're doing, play retro video games and try to involve some other people, because that's what it's all about. Everything that is good and starts comes from above. We thank you for listening. Be safe, be happy, be healthy. And above all else, Trenton, keep it turbo.
Finish him.
Friendship.
Friendship. Friendship. Friendship.